special guest today.
I'm back.
Yes, Alan B is back. I did tell you all that this season you'll be seeing a lot more of him. How are you?
I'm good. I'm a little hungry, but I'm happy to be here.
Yeah. Are you sad about the Tua news?
Or
happy?
I wish him the best. I just want to see us win a playoff game. That's all I want. So, wish him the best. He's a Christian, so I love him. Wish him the best, but it's time to move on.
And he's getting paid in the shade, drinking lemonade. So it can't feel too bad.
No, he's cool. He's chilling.
Well, let's jump right into it. Comparison.
Like, I think in general, it's easy to compare yourself to someone else or someone else's circumstance or what someone else may have, what someone else may not have, how someone else responds, things like that. I think it can be just a full spectrum. Like it could just be all over the place. Like there's comparison in marriage, in singles, in whatever you can think of. There's comparison somewhere in that.
Should we compare?
I don't think we should. I mean, you can say that, and it's not as easy to go by that, but I don't think we should because God gave us what we have for a reason and for us. But it can be hard sometimes when you see a desire through someone else's journey that you may have or want or wish you may have been further along, in that process, but you aren't. And so sometimes it could be like, man, like, God, why can't I be like that right now? Why can't I have those connections? Why can't such and such? But through that, you don't even know what that person may have had to endure to get where they are. So sometimes you're comparing yourself to someone that had to go through even more than you could even imagine to be in that space. So.
And I think that's the thing about comparison is that in just living your life in general, you never know what somebody is really going through. Like we see pictures on social media. Most people just put the highlight reel. They talk about their accomplishments. Yeah. They'll put pictures up when they look nice. But what somebody's going through day to day, you really just don't know. And that's why I think it's so important not to compare, not to say, man, I wish I was like this, or I had a situation like this, or so-and-so always gets this. Because to your point, you don't know what it took for them to get there.
Yeah, you don't. I mean, and that's just the truth. And honestly, even when you look at social media these days, it's just, it's crazy because it's like people in like way back, and I'm not old or anything, but I know way back, you couldn't really see people's lives on display outside of like maybe famous people you see on the news and stuff like that. There was nothing to show someone's day to day. So I think now we've gotten so caught up into other people's day-to-day that we feel like ours should look the exact same when that may not be what God called us for, right? So,
and a question that pops up in my head is, are we posting too much on social media?
I don't think so. Well, it just depends. It depends. I think there are some like me, I'm a very private person. Like, I'll post my family and things like that, but you're not going to know I walked outside and ran over a squirrel or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a very terrible...
Yeah, he might actually post that.
No, I wouldn't post that.
You might?
No, I wouldn't. But, there's certain people that every conversation, every argument, every blah, 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 they're going to vent and tell the whole world. And I don't think that is the way of handling things. And I don't think everybody needs to know everything that you have going on. You shouldn't be that accessible to me. So.
Yeah, and I feel like we're supposed to be modest, but I'm wondering if the overexposure is feeding into the comparison game.
It can be. I think so. But I will say, on the other end of things, I do think that we as Christians should be posting more in certain lights. Like if God brought us through something, like it could be personal to us, but if he put it on our heart to share, we don't know behind the dark or behind the doors who may have gone through or are going through like what we went through to the point where like they don't see a way out. But our story could show them, hey, God moved in my life so he can move in yours too. And so that's why I would say it's kind of like a fine line. I'm a fan of it and not a fan in some instances, but most and foremost, like we're called to be light, right? So I think that's an example of that.
Yeah. I agree. And I feel like we need more Christian voices with Christian content just
Yeah.
infiltrating the culture.
Yeah, I agree. And I think we're starting to see that. Like, I feel like this day and age, I think there are a lot of different people that are coming to Christ. I've even seen like a few, like just I listen to a lot of music. There's a few secular artists that are coming to Christ, like for real, and you can see like the fruit in their life. And I think that's showcasing like to people that may not know Christ, like, hey, like, okay, there's something here, right? Maybe I should look deeper into what this is. Who is this guy you're talking about, right? So I think social media is a tool, and I do think that it can be good, but even Christians struggle with comparison. I've struggled with comparison. I mean, I'm sure you have too at some points in our life. So it's one of those things where we just have to just trust what God has given us and just know that, what's for us is for us.
Yeah. What would you say to someone who is single and comparing themselves to a friend who got married 5-6 years ago and they're still single and they don't want to be?
It's tough, man, because I know just talking from people that I know nowadays, oh, the dating pool is this, and oh, the dating
There's pee in
pool
it.
is that, and right. So I get it, and I get that it may not be like the easiest thing to go about, finding that person in this day and time, but you just got to trust that God's going to do it for you, right? Like if you believe in your heart that you want to be married and you know that God told you and showed you that you would be married, then don't settle. Just trust in what the Lord has given you. And, our time, I think so many times, like we get so caught up in like wanting life to look and feel how we want it to in a specific timeline. But the truth is, we're not on God's timeline. We created time. Man made a time. That's not his time. That's our time, right? So, like, I think we have to also understand that it's on his time. And, like, you steady complaining while your husband could be, like, walking past you. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, just stay true to what God has told you and showed you. And, like, I mean, I just say it like this. Like, would you rather be single and complain and settle, or would you rather wait on God for him to send you the right man of God or the right woman of God that's going to be there for you every step of the way, be the one to pray for, like the one that you're not going to have, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's worth the wait, and that's just for me being married now to this wonderful, beautiful woman of God. But truth is, I wanted to be married, but I could not see it. I couldn't see it. And I knew that God had it for me, but I was like, who's gonna like, you know what I'm saying? And this is coming from someone that and this might be a little off topic, but this is coming from someone that I was told over and over, oh, you're too good of a guy. And then I would watch women go and be with someone else that treats them like dirt. And so it made me think, okay, God, do I need to be a menace out here? Like, is that what these women are looking for? And I came to a place in my life where I was like, you know what, God, I'm going to just focus on you. I kid you not. I was not looking for this girl. I was not checking for her. She just showed up in a way that I'd never seen anybody else before. And that was solely because I decided, okay, God, my focus is on you. You know my desires, and I trust that you'll fulfill it. And he did. So, yeah.
Amen. That is interesting, though, that the women thought you were too good.
Yeah, I would hear that. Oh, I mean, I know you're going to be such a great person for someone else. I'm like, whatever. It got to the point where I knew why people would break up with me. I knew that was going to be I don't know why that was the case, but I don't care now. Anyways, clearly.
I just feel like, though, that's an example of rejection as God's protection.
That's real.
Because if they would have been with you, you may have not been married to me.
That's true.
Or have. I don't know.
Well, we ain't gonna go there. But I'm grateful. I'm grateful that we are together and we are married. And you know, I just I always try to encourage single people that are around me, and just because I've been there, and it's been a while since I've been there, but I've been there, and so I know it can be hard, and I know that it's hard to see other people. It's like God, like, okay, when's my break? But just keep trusting in Him, and He's got you. That person is out there for you.
But what about the person who is married but comparing their marriage to other marriages? Like, well, we don't have as much fun as so and so, and we don't have a podcast together.
Well, in terms of that, I think there's no perfect marriage. Like you can, again, social media is highlight reels, right? Somebody might, you just never know. Like, but yeah, there's no perfect marriage. Like our strong suit may be being on camera together or communicating or whatever, while someone else's strong suit may be hosting people or, you know what I'm saying? Like just every marriage has something, which is why it's good to be connected to different couples because you grab something from every relationship that you form. So I think that just understanding, like, it's almost like your marriage, God is giving you guys a superpower. Like, I know ours is like, we always have other couples or younger couples that we're always trying to pour into. And I know that that's the gift that God has given us. And He's shown us that before we were even married. So that's something that comes natural to us because it's like a spiritual gift within our union. Whereas someone else's could be completely different. And I think a lot of times we look at people and we're like, man, I wish we were like that, not understanding that they're walking in their gifting, and that's just not your gifting in your marriage, right? So now there's things that you can work on, but it's not gonna be perfect. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just that simple. So you just can't compare it because if you see behind the scenes in other people's marriages, you'd be like, oh, well, we do that better than them. And it's not comparison, but still, it's just the truth. So, yeah.
No, I like what you said. Some of us are comparing ourselves to somebody else's gift.
Yeah.
And that's just not your gift. And that's okay. God didn't create you to do X, Y, and Z. He created you to do something else. Now, maybe if you embrace that gift more or even talk to Him more about what He wants to see in your life,
right,
comparison wouldn't steal your joy or your focus or your attention as much.
Yeah.
How do you not compare yourself to other artists?
Woo! Man, that is so hard. I'm not going to even lie to you.
Well, and I'll say this though, because I do think you need to be exposed to other people. Like you need exposure to older folks, mature folks, even like folks that have more money than you, because you need vision.
Yeah.
Like you need to see what's possible. But I think there's a thin line between like comparison, jealousy, and then admiration, maybe.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because, this is all gonna like kind of glue itself together. But you look at the Michael Jordans of the world, you look at the LeBron James of the world, you look at the Tiger Woods of the world, Serena Williams, the greats in sports, and Michael Jacksons, the Kurt Franklins, the all of the greats, right? You look at these people and everyone at some point, like I know one of your influences coming up was Oprah, right?
Oh,
like
I love Oprah.
Wanted to be like Oprah, right? So like you look at people and we're all inspired by something to, I guess, bring us to where we are. And God instills that in us. So those same people we're mentioning were inspired by somebody else in some kind of way to be where they are. And so I think nowadays we look at these people and we say, man, I wish I had this, or man, I wish I could be like them. But I think it should be an admiration of the greatness and the gift that they're walking in. But how can I take things that I've learned from watching them and apply it to my life to where I'm not comparing myself, but I'm kind of leaning into my own gifting, right? And so for me, it has been hard because I've looked at other artists and be like, man, like, if I just had this equipment, or if I just had, money behind my music, I could be this far and such. And it's tough because especially like when you're talking about something that you are gifted in that God is giving you that you're kind of like expressing yourself, right? So if I write a song and I mix a song that takes me over 2 days, literally, and I get one or two players, like, man, I'm not just this isn't just a hobby. This is me pouring myself out in a song. So
Right.
to other people, it could be like very depressing, right? But I think the biggest thing is just understanding again, and this is just going back to the gifting that God is giving you. And it's so funny that we're talking about this because I literally posted a song like weeks ago, and I got so discouraged because Instagram's algorithm is so messed up.
It sucks.
And
You suck,
I kid you
Instagram.
not, my
Sorry.
post got 4 likes. 4 likes. And I'm like, I know I'm not trash. Like, I don't understand. Like, I put all this hard work and I got really depressed. And God stopped me in my tracks. And he was like, what are you doing this for? Right? And so at that moment, I was like, you know what, God, this is just about you. And this is just like, once we just put everything that we have into him,
Yeah.
nothing else matters. That one or two people, 4 or 5, whatever, that could be listening, it could change their life. And is that enough for us? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right. Like God is they say like when one comes to Christ, the angels in heaven rejoice, right? So that one person that may come to Christ through listening to my song or watching your podcast, they're rejoicing, right? So at that point on, I was just all right, you know what? I'ma just post. I ain't even looking at the likes no more. I don't care. I'm not gonna fall into the trap of social media.
Right.
I'm just gonna lean into who you are. And so that's not saying that it makes it any. And this is long-winded, but that's not saying this makes it any harder to, hide yourself or rid yourself of comparison. But I think it helps knowing your purpose behind what you're doing. For me, at least, that's what has kept me through this time.
That's really good. I think what sticks out to me in what you just said is like, what is your purpose behind what you want? What is your purpose, even if you're jealous of someone? Like, why are you really jealous about them? Is it that you think if you have as much money as them, more people will like you? Is it if you think if you have a wife like them or a husband like them, you'll be happier? Like, what is behind the comparison? What is behind the jealousy? But even what is behind your purpose for putting things out in the world? Are our intentions pure? Or are we serving idols? That's what's resonating for me.
I think we are serving idols. And I also think, and this might rub some people the wrong way.
Uh-oh.
I also think it's an excuse.
Oh, okay.
Because you can say, oh, well, I wish such and such was like theirs, or oh, well, I wish I was like this. What are you doing to push your marriage or whatever that thing is to be in a better situation? Like, I think a lot of times we'll look at people and we'll look at things and we'll be the ones to complain and say, well, if I such and such, when like God has already given you everything you need to equip yourself to be better in those areas. And so I think we use comparison sometimes as an excuse. I've done it.
Yeah.
I've compared myself to other people. I don't have that type of equipment. And you'll tell me all the time, well, why can't you just use what you have and do it to the best of your ability? Or is that not good enough, right? And so, like, sometimes we have to be okay with what we have in the now before God can give us more. And it's man, that's a word, because I even look back
Shout out.
to, I'll never forget when I used to go on these hiatuses from music, like drop a song, gone for 3 years, drop a song, gone for 3 years, and people wouldn't listen, and I just told God, like, I'm gonna be consistent, I'm gonna do this thing, and we serve a God that is, exceedingly abundantly above all we can ask or think. Like, he does that. So, like, going from one stream to over 400,000 in a matter of a year and a half, I would have never thought could happen. And so when you're comparing, that could be you a year and a half from now. But if we're so stuck on that, rather than focusing on what God has for us, then we can't see the fruits of being obedient. So, yeah.
And then some of it is, I feel like, the trick of the enemy to make us think that it's greener on the other side.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
one of my bros in Christ told me the grass is greener where you water it.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not that their grass is greener and you can't have grass. The question is like, what are you doing with what's in your hand? Are you stewarding what you have well? Are you loving your spouse well? Are you using your time wisely, using your finances wisely, using your resources that God has given you? What are you doing with those things? And if we're more focused on the stewardship, and if we're more focused on, using what God has given us, we might not even have time for comparison because we're too busy about our Father's business at that point.
That's good. That's really good. It's really good.
I don't know.
Yeah.
What's on your heart?
I don't know. I just want people to be more in tune with the gift that God has given them. I think sometimes we get so caught up on what someone else may have and we don't realize what's in us.
Yeah.
And like, even if you're watching this and you're like, man, like, I don't know what my gift is. I kid you not. There was a point in my life where I was so confused because I felt like everything I did, I was decent at. There was nothing that stuck out to me that was incredible. Like growing up, I was like, okay, I'm decent at basketball. I'm decent at singing. I'm decent at such and such. And to me, I'm thinking like, okay, I'm not all that, because I would compare myself to these other people that I thought were just out of this world, right? But all in all, like how we view ourselves can really like determine the outcome of how God expands what we have. And so like if we look at ourselves like, man, I'm just trash, then God is just gonna sit there and like, all right, well, I've shown you aren't. Until you believe it for yourself, I'm not gonna be able to do anything with that. And so that's why a lot of people feel like they're stuck in their gifting because they haven't fully bought into what God gave them. So,
mic drop.
Yeah, I'm talking from experience. Like, I'm so serious. Like, I went through that phase of my life for real.
Yeah. No, that's good. I just feel like we are so down on ourselves.
I'm very.
But then if I'm down on myself, you won't let me do that. And if you're down on yourself, I'll boost you up. How do we boost ourselves up? Or how do we not allow ourselves to talk to ourselves in a way that a friend would not allow us to talk to them that way? Or, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm still working on that for myself.
Same.
Because I will be the one, I will hype you up in a heartbeat. Like a friend or somebody, I'm always one to pour into someone and be like, hey, you're gifted, keep going. Like, that's just who I am as a person. But for myself, I'm so hard on myself to the point where I will, it's just tough. And I think we just have to look at scripture and just see what God says about us and recite those things over ourselves, because if he said it about us, then it has to be true, right? So
he can't lie.
Yeah.
What are some scriptures you're holding on to?
Man, there's been one recently. I cannot quote the exact psalm, but it's a psalm, and it's like you're a lamp into my feet and a light into my path, and that's recently been on my heart lately because I've been struggling with like direction, especially within the season we're in, and I feel like in that particular verse, God is just showing me like, hey, like, you know, you may be in the dark, but the closer you get to seeing who I am, that door, that path in which you're searching for gets more visible. And so like every step I take, like I just have to follow the lamp into my feet and the light into my path. So he's the light, right? So without him, we fall further into darkness. We can't see anything, but the closer we are to him, the clearer the vision is. So I actually wrote a song about it too. I don't know if it'll ever come out, but here we go.
Well, we'll be on the lookout. No, I love that song. And what comes to mind even now is just, if you are struggling with comparison, talk to God about it. Talk to God. Like, tell God, why did you make me mediocre? I mean, he didn't, but just pour it all out to him. Like, if you feel that way, you are to go to your Father about it all. And I guarantee you that by the end of that conversation, you'll have a fresh perspective given by him.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, all in all, you just have to know that the Lord is always going to be the one to hold you up when you can't hold yourself up, or he's going to be the one to make you realize things about yourself that you had no idea were even there. So just give everything to him and just talk to him about everything.
Everything.
Because you may be like, all right, God, even if you're not like super strong in your faith, all right, I don't even know if you're hearing me. And then you walk outside and get in the car and it'll just hit you like, whoa. You know what I'm saying? So like, just give him everything that you have.
Amen. Thank you, Alan B.
I don't have I'm playing. Nah, I'm always happy to be here. Love you, love this podcast. So, yeah.
Love you guys. See you later.